Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ronnette Hopgood. How many of you have allowed your past to define who you are? And how many of you at some point in your life just felt not good enough? That was me. For a lot of my life, I didn't feel good enough. But let me take you back on a journey. This is my story. I remember my mom, she was telling me when I was 3 years old, I had a younger brother, younger sister, and I have a twin sister. At 3 years old, my twin and I attended Head Start. We did not talk to anybody, not even the teachers. And we were so extremely, extremely shy that we would only talk to ourselves. So, what did my mom do? What did our mom do? She brought a tape recorder to school and said, "Here to the teachers. These twins can talk." Then there's times they would come to our house and, they wanted to catch us in action. I want to hear the twins talk. We wouldn't talk. But the tape recorder was proof that we could really talk. So I was so extremely shy growing up. And then a few years later, I started to make friends in grade school, and it was about 4th grade. My twin and I flunked. Not one time, but we flunked the 4th grade twice. And didn't know exactly why, but I remember feeling so bad about it. And I did not want to go through that again. Fast forward, at 16 years old, I had a dream. I had a dream of being a teacher and a speaker. My mom rented the upper duplex in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And in our kitchen, upper duplex, we had a small kitchen, very, very small. I put out 3 chairs. 1, 2, 3. And I pretended like those 3 chairs were thousands of people that I was teaching and that I was speaking to. And my family was happy to participate. At that time, at 16 years old, I always was this happy type of person, compassionate person. I always liked to help people in any way that I could. So a few years later, I got my first job, real job, in the corporate field. And not feeling good enough really, really sunk in then. I was around the powers to be in any conversation that we had or I would come into contact with. I felt that my voice was just powerless. I felt that my opinion or what I had to say or what I said didn't matter to anybody else. So I'd stay quiet. My voice would stay on mute. So I felt like I was a silent spectator. So I stayed quiet. So years later, during this time though, I still had the dream, still had that dream in my mind, but I was quiet. But I remember in 2016, I was sitting on my living room sofa. I pulled the curtain back and I was looking out the window, and I was sitting there reflecting on my life. I wanted to take my family out to go do some fun activities, and realized that I didn't have any money. Growing up, my mom, she worked 2 jobs. We hardly seen our mother, and it was a struggle. Our family didn't have money growing up, so I knew what that was like growing up. Okay, and I carried that on into the job, the corporate world. You know, I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. So I didn't have money on that particular Saturday, and I said, there's got to be more to life than this. So at that time, I would say it was about a week later, my husband gave me a CD, and I popped that CD, and I was like, what is this? He said, just listen. I popped that CD in my car, and Mr. Les Brown's voice, his story, came on. And I've heard of Les Brown before, but the words of Mr. Les Brown changed the story that I was telling myself, that I simply wasn't good enough. So when Mr. Les Brown said, how many of you are going to the 9-to-5 jobs every day that you dread going to? I was there. I was still there working a 9-to-5. But he said, your dreams can become a reality. And he said that it's possible. So his words were so very powerful. And I was like, wow. And I got so excited. So on my commute to and from work every day, I'd listen to his CD. And Mr. Les Brown also said that no one's going to write that book for you. No one's going to open up that hair salon for you. And here I was. I had that dream of wanting to add value to others' lives. And his words changed my life from that moment on. So I started to also see myself as being worthy, being valuable. So I started to change what I was saying and feeling about myself into something more positive. So instead of just, saying, oh, I'm just as good as everybody else, I started just to be. And just to be is just to be me with who I am, who I was, this friendly, happy person, compassionate person. Don't care what anyone thought of me, thinks of me. Even when I opened up my mouth and I started to speak in conversations, say, okay, I value my opinion and I'm going to speak out. And it's funny because a lot of people today can't believe when I tell them the story that I was extremely shy, that I didn't talk when I was little. But my husband he says, when my twin and I get together, we can't be quiet, and that we sound like the fire truck and the ambulance. And that is just so hilarious to me. But the once little girl that didn't talk felt that her voice had to be muted, to now, I love, love, love to talk. I love using my voice to encourage others, to inspire others. So the direction of my life has shifted. I feel now that I'm able to achieve my dreams, that my dreams aren't that far away. So, and also, and instead of me just, I was always the type of person too, about how I didn't feel good enough. I would always compare my life to others. So I was always looking for external happiness versus reaching for happiness that was already inside of me. So the people around me that I was looking at, they seemed to be more happier than me with the cars, the houses, the money. And I thought, well, what about me? I wanted to know what that was like. So I just said to myself, instead of me just looking externally, look inward. How many of you can relate? Looking inward inside of yourself, there's so much gold, there's so much rubies, and you are precious. And I want you to know today that you are very, very valuable. Value who you are. Value what you say. It took me years to know who I am. Value you. So I want to leave you with these two questions. What limited beliefs are you telling yourself? What limited beliefs are you believing about yourself? I want you to ask yourself that, okay? Second, if you can rewrite the story of your life, if you can rewrite your story, and I know you can, what would you tell yourself? And what would you say? And lastly, our Mr. Les Brown is my mentor, and I'm so happy. He said, if life knocks you down, try to look up. And if you can look up, no, he said if life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And let that reason get you back up. What is your reason that will get you back up? Mine, I had to believe in myself, believe in my dream, and believe that I was good enough. Lastly, Norman Vincent Peale said, change your thoughts, you change your world. Ladies and gentlemen, you change your thoughts, you can change your world. Thank you. God bless.